Hello everyone and welcome to HCTV Sports as we get set for a volleyball matchup here between the Tartan Titans and the Hastings Raiders. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, St. Croix Falls' finest, Reagan Hooverman. Reagan, how's it going, buddy?
It's great to be here. National anthem coming up.
And so yet another beautiful rendition of the national anthem there as we return back to action here. Reagan Hooverman, I was just asking you how you were doing before we got clipped by the national anthem there.
Right, we had to cut straight to national anthem. I'm doing all right. I'm excited. We got volleyball action tonight. It should be a good time, and I don't know. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the beauty. You know, we were talking about this before, pregame. I think they change up the routine every single game just a little bit.
They're trying to get us.
I think they are trying to catch us sleeping.
They're trying to get us. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, it's good to be back here. I think this is maybe the fourth or fifth volleyball game we've done this year, so obviously getting really familiar here with the volleyball team, and, you know, should be a good one here. Obviously, these two teams, both a little bit lower here in the conference, but, you know, when you're not quite at the bottom, but you're you know, towards the middle, I mean, this is a really big swing game for both teams, whether or not you win or lose one.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. It's the same in volleyball as it is in football and basketball and every other sport that has conference games. I mean, you need to win the conference games. If you're going to move up and you're going to try and make the push for playoffs and get into that postseason to make a run at a championship, it starts with winning your conference games and getting that higher seed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, looking at their schedules, I found it pretty interesting. I think it's going to be a very even matchup here tonight because I was looking at common opponents, and both these teams have played Simley and North St. Paul. They've both lost to those two teams, and they've both played South St. Paul, and they've both beat the Packers. So kind of interesting that when you look at head-to-head matchups, that there's a lot of similarities to be found.
Absolutely, it's dead silent in here. but real talk, I feel like we're kind of calling golf right now, which would be a lot of fun. But real talk though, if you throw out overall records, because obviously they're going to have different opponents, but like you said, those common opponents, you take a look at the people they've played. These teams are fairly evenly matched, and hopefully we'll have a good couple of games tonight and some interesting competition for people tuning into the broadcast.
Absolutely, it does get very pitch quiet here. I mentioned that with Theo, that it is like calling golf as we're underway here between the Raiders and the Titans. Ball there on the far side in the front court, and we'll get an early whistle. First point of the night here going to the Raiders.
We're taking the professional stance, literally, on our feet right now.
I don't understand people who sit down and call games. We'll get another serve here, and this one bouncing out of bounds, and early lead here for Hastings.
So the Raiders getting off to a quick start here, up 2-0 already.
Excuse me, did you say the Raiders?
Yeah, Raiders. Shout out to John Madden.
Shout out to anybody who needs a shout out, really.
Legendary coach.
Smacked back there, tipped there in the front court. Kept alive, they'll have to slam it over here. That's Macy Frandrup with the kill. really heartening to see Hastings here off to the early lead. I mean, through most of the games we've covered, it's typically the story goes for you Reagan Hooverman that they'll get down fairly early and they'll call a timeout midway through each set, and they'll have a tremendous rally. But a lot of the times they can't quite overcome that early deficit. Another serve here, propped up there by Courtney Dollar. Cross-court attack. Pushed over, denied at the volley there, but the point's going here to the Titans.
So now the Titans trying to get back into this game after starting down initially 3-0, now back to 3-2. And sails out of bounds, so point will go for the Raiders. Got some substitutions coming in. And it'll be Hastings set to serve.
Chantel Lease with the serve. Just graces the top of the net and lands on the wrong side of the net there. A point here for Tartan.
Unfortunate turn of events for the Raiders right there. Get a good serve, barely tipping the top of the net, and Titans play it perfectly and manage to score.
Serve here for the Titans. Lands up here in the front court. That one sailed back and under the net. Yet another point here for Hastings.
Couple more substitutions.
Couple of juniors here. We'll have Megan Meyer here on the serve. And another low one here for Hastings. Crashes into the net. It'll be very interesting here tonight to see how many aces that Hastings gets. They're typically pretty good at them. We will await the serve here from Radke.
Is there some sort of, looks like the scoreboard may not be correct.
No, I don't think they've scored 41.
This isn't the Golden State Warriors. I don't think they put up that many points.
No, yeah, no.
Well, the official came over and was talking to the scorer's booth and kind of stopped the action. I was like, what's going on here?
I mean, they were just off by a handful.
Just a little.
Radke's serve, solid power, lands there in the backcourt, propped up. Tipped over with one hand. Now Meyer back for Lease. Over to the far side, and that one sailed just a little bit too far there off the fingertips there of Frandrup.
Unfortunate, too. A couple of nice passes, a nice set, and then a spike attempt that just sails a foot or two past the out-of-bounds line.
Titan serve. That one sky high. Meyer sets it up, tipped, and a point here for the Raiders. Low serve, this one clears the net. Cross-court attack, and that one just a little bit on the outside.
Titans trying to stay in it, down 8-5. It's close. They not have a ruling? Who's supposed to be watching that?
I don't know, but somebody.
The serve just sails out of bounds. And let's look around.
Well, I wish we had it like tennis. You know, we talked about tennis before. I wish we had that little, video thing that tells you if it's in or out.
Yeah.
And luckily we have a ball boy down there, I think. For the last games we've done, I mean, they had to hike down to Timbuktu over there to catch the ball.
Run across the gym trying to chase it down. It's a great block.
Tipped, Gronquist sets it up. Slamming it over, and that one, I think, just in front of the fingertips there of the Tartan player. I will say not the most legible numbers for the away team.
No argument there.
That's probably why you don't see a lot of dark on dark
on
jerseys. Another serve here for the Raiders. Good arc on that one, propped up by Lobo.
The dive. Ooh.
And a great rebound point there for Tartan. Titan serve, and that one immediately out of bounds.
A couple times this game already in this first match here. Titans have just served it straight out of bounds, not even giving themselves an opportunity.
We got the Dollar serve, a bump to the near side. Dollar over to Gronquist. Past the middle blocker, kept in play here by Seidenberg. They'll have to get it over here, and that one just a little bit too far off the hands there of Seidenberg.
That's a fantastic setup there by Veronica Radke. I mean, just a perfect pass, sets up for the spike, and they score off it.
And we'll get our first timeout here of the first set. I believe it was called here by Tartan.
So in a game that's been close so far, you know, Titans feel the momentum maybe getting away from them, now trailing 11-7, and they want to talk it over.
You know, and so far in this shortened season, the first set has statistically been one of the worst for Hastings, but they're off to a 4-point lead here. As we'll take a look here at the standings. And there you can see Hastings right near the bottom, but this is what I was talking about with the big swing. If they can get a win here against another team right in the middle of the pack, I mean, you know, it's a whole new outlook on the season.
One, and even going back to what you were just talking about, is not getting off to a fast start. There's a lot of teams, if you're a good team, yeah, you can come back, you can fight your way back into the game, but at some point, you know, if you don't have one of the best rosters in the conference, you gotta get off to a good start and start early. And that's what we've seen so far here, staying in the game and actually having a 4-point advantage here through the first 18 points.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, normally the timeout at this point in the set is called by Hastings. Not used to leading this early in a set in a meet. See if they can hold on to the lead here. That one tipped at the net, falls down, and a point after the timeout here for the Titans.
And you got to wonder here for the Raiders, you know, this is a spot that, like we've been talking about, you haven't exactly been in this position so much this season. So how does this team go from here? Do they capitalize and try and put this game away early? Or, you know, do they kind of slip back into some of those bad habits that maybe we've seen earlier in the season?
So an ace there by Ariana Sarin. We get another serve here by the Titans. Low and in the backcourt. Propped up from BB. Sent over there by Abby Axel. Good bump forward, landed over the top, but just pushed over there by Tartan. It's 2 straight points here following the timeout. And I will say, I don't know about your opinion on this matter, but I'm not a huge fan of the alliteration with the Tartan Titans, as we'll get another point here for Tartan.
You're out on that. You don't
I'm out on it.
You don't like that? Oh.
It's too arena footballish for me.
You didn't like arena football?
I got nothing against it. If that's still a thing anymore, I actually don't know if they folded. Solid back and forth here. A slam and a great defensive play there by Abby Axel.
The senior right there, Abby Axel, and that it helps a lot when you're 5'11" playing varsity volleyball. I mean, she can get up. She's got good vertical and sending one back right there.
Yeah, Hastings against a lot of teams is going to have the height advantage there in the front court. Interesting, too, when you look at the roster composition, you know, a lot of juniors and seniors here for Hastings, and, you know, either a lot of seniors or a lot of freshmen for Tartan. Not a whole lot of in-between.
Ooh. That might have been a hometown line judge right there. I don't know if that one was in.
Well, either way, we'll get the first ace of the night. I think in the second set of the last game we covered, not the Hill Murray game, but the Matamidi game, I think they might have had 4 aces in the second set. It was something ridiculous.
just catching fire. Another substitution here for the Titans. Still a closely contested game, 13-12, and Titans set to serve.
Yeah, Titans playing pretty well following the timeout. Cross-court attack. And again, that one sailed a little too far. Got a tie game here at 13-all.
And both teams so far playing fairly well, but kind of struggling to get dialed in terms of the actual accuracy of these shots.
A soft serve there from the Titans. A tip kept in play. One hand slap over in the front court, and a great play there. Play continuing on. Dollar with a bump forward. Good long volley here, kept in play. And we'll get a whistle for some reason. Point going to Tartan. I wish I knew why.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought the point was over as soon as that they managed to save it off what looked to be off the floor there earlier in the volley, and instead it swings, and now Titans with a lead.
I think I might need to see the all-22 on that one. Send over here from Hastings. Frantic play. And a one-handed hit a little too low. Hastings now tying this one up again.
Hate to say it, the all-22 was out like 7 days after the game happens. Have you seen some of that? It's super late.
No.
It comes out like 3 days after.
When it comes to this season, I don't even watch the game, let alone the all-22. Bumped right back in between front court and the back court. Awkward angle there, but it's sent over by Radke. Propped up here by Faith Lobo, and yet another point here for the Titans.
That's excellent precision by Alice Marston right there. Finding the soft spot in the defense and putting it in there for the lead.
Marston checking out, and a point here for Hastings following the low serve. Radke with the serve. Not a lot of clearance on that one. Sent over, tipped back. Sent over from the front court. Cross-court attack, and point going there to the Titans. That one just a little bit on the outside.
Big setup for the Raiders. A couple of nice passes, and then once again just sailing the spike. Just a game of inches.
So we're getting closer to the home stretch here as Dollar will bump that forward. Sent over and sent out of bounds as the lead is slowly expanding here for the road team. As we'll have a player take a hike over there, basically running a half marathon to get the ball.
26.2 right there to go get that.
That's impressive. And the response there from Hastings.
I don't ever want to say the first match is a must-win, but both teams really fighting for this one.
Another point here for Hastings, tied at 17 apiece as we get down to crunch time here in the first set. I mean, but it is true. I mean, you know, the games we've seen here for Hastings, I mean, really the team that wins the first set certainly has the momentum throughout the rest of the game.
And that's the thing, exactly that. You can boost, you can either gain so much confidence or lose a ton of confidence, even though it is only obviously 1 point for the overall, game. But going up 1-0 would be huge.
Well, and that's the thing too with Hastings. They've never really been blown out this year in an individual set. All their sets have been really close. It's just unfortunately they've lost the majority of them. Had a really nice showing versus Matamidi where, yeah, they lost 1-3, but that was a lot closer than you'd think. Gronquist, cross-court attack, propped up to Lobo, tipped, and just over the fingertips there of Megan Meyer.
And that's the thing we talked about, before the broadcast started was like, how do you look at each of these teams? They're 1-4 right now, but this is a team that's been close and competitive in pretty much every set this season.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to use the cliche, but I mean, there really could be 4-1 if just a couple of moments in these individual sets go another way, which of course is, the easy answer, but, I really do feel in this case it's accurately applicable. That one sailed over we are neck and neck here.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's not like these games have been blowouts. None of these sets have been blowouts. This is, although they're 1-4, like we've been saying, it's a good roster. It's a good team, and at some point you just got to find a way to finish. And if they can do that, it's a long season, and they've got a lot of games ahead of them, and they can fight back into this.
Hastings down 1 point will get the serve. Lobo sent over there, and that one probably would have been best not to just be touched. Great defensive recovery there from Tartan.
Good volley.
That one sent high, nearly placed it in no man's land there. A great bump there from Dollar, sent back over. Lobo to her teammate there on the near side, a slam, and a well-earned point there for the Raiders coming from Abby Axel.
Abby Axel finding the dead spot of that defense after both teams have been fighting so hard to keep that volley alive and now knotted up at 19s. We're in store for a good finish for this first match.
Trying to regain the lead here for the Raiders. And that one sails out of bounds, and now the Raiders take a 20-19 lead. And I always love placing it in no man's land because what you'll see is that, when it's in between those 5 people, any of the 5 could get it, but you don't want to, bump into another player or you collide heads, and a lot of times it's just not fielded.
We've got a local reporter fetching balls for them right now.
Yeah, it really is all hands on deck. That one tipped up, sent up from BB to the far side. Good attack there from Gronquist. Lobo to her teammate, denied, still in play. Bumped on over. Raiders on the attack. And denied by the net, and the point going here to Hastings as they inch closer to 25.
And that's the thing that I've loved so far about this Hastings team in this first match. It's not all power and just punishing the ball as, trying to score or whatever. There's some finesse. It's dropping it in. It's targeting spots. And that's the reason they have a 2-point lead right now.
Raiders trying to close this one out. Slapped over. Dollar keeps it alive to BB. Attack. And that one just a few inches away from that line. I was going to say, I thought that was Andres Stromanis over there shagging down balls.
I think Andres is back in Latvia.
Yeah, wow. He's a hard man to get hold of.
Especially if you've got an assignment to turn in.
I'm sure he'll appreciate all the references. I'm sure he's tuning in from.
You know he is.
And another point here for Hastings. Hastings pulling ahead here, but.
Look at that. We've got some Go Raiders in the chat. The Raiders. They loved it. They loved it. That's the only explanation.
They love it. I love the fans tuning in. They always help with pronunciations as that one sails off into the stands.
I managed to get to the 4th row.
Yeah, that was impressive.
These fans got to look alive. That's going to be a souvenir right there.
This is not target field. We don't have, several layers of netting to stop a volleyball from coming at you. That one sent over. Well, we'll really see here if the Raiders can close this one out because hotly contested here in the first set. Elise, left-handed serve. Up front to Lobo. And that one just drops in there. Perfect placement there from the Titans.
Going to be a photo finish here in this first game, 23-22 in favor of the Raiders, and both teams fighting back and forth to stay in this match.
Whalen with a serve, kept alive by Dollar, out of bounds, and tied here at 23 all.
All knotted up, and the Raiders want to talk it over. They call their first timeout of the match.
Well, like I've said on basically every broadcast I've been on here for volleyball, they really, I don't know what it is. Maybe they're, good listeners, which is important, but they're always very receptive and always play very strongly following timeouts. Not really any wasted timeouts here from the Raiders volleyball team, unlike the Park football team.
I was going to say that was going to be my next reference, but no, it's true. I mean, you come out of a timeout, and that's a sign of good coaching. If you come out of a timeout and you've executed a play and you have something in mind, especially in a match like this where it's knotted up at 23s, and it's absolutely pivotal to win this first match in terms of the overall game tonight.
And there's a good look at some of the seniors here for this team. Obviously, a senior-laden team. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. What a camera shot. That's actually a good shot.
Actually a good shot. I mean,
it's a great shot.
What are you saying, Reagan Hooverman? Were you expecting bad shots?
No, never bad shots here.
We're all professionals here. Well, I don't know about you or me, but everybody else is certainly professionals.
Everyone else is keeping it 100.
Interesting serve there. Always tough to know whether or not you should leave it inbounds or out of bounds, and a great finish there from the sophomore Macy Frandrup.
And that's the thing I was talking about earlier. I mean, not trying to just punish the volleyball and score, finessing, dropping it in, just keeping it inside the lines and scoring once again, now up 24-23 with a shot to put it away here.
Match point here for the Raiders. Served up here in the front court. A slam out of bounds, and the Raiders will win the first set here 25-23.
I think that last play is a perfect summary of the first match for the Titans right there. I mean, just missing by a couple inches, and it's a game of inches, and it cost them in this first match, and now they trail 1-0 here tonight.
So with that, we'll wrap it up here. We'll take a short break. This is HCTV Sports. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports as we get set for the continuation of this volleyball game here between the Raiders and the Titans. The Raiders won the first set 25-23. I'm Owen Healy here with my broadcast partner for the night, Reagan Hooverman. Reagan, what'd you make of that first set?
It was nice to see this Hastings Raiders team come out and kind of put an exclamation point on the game and put that one away in a match that started pretty hotly contested. Both teams, fighting back and forth for leads, and the Raiders found a way to put it away.
First serve of the second set here. Denied at the top of the net, and first point of the second set going here to Tartan.
They have to wonder, that first match being so highly contested, a 2-point game, essentially down to the end. How does Tartan respond?
Really low serve there. BB over to her teammate, slammed. Lobo, far side. Not enough clearance on that one. We're tied up here at 1 apiece. We'll get the serve here by Dollar. Lobo to Whalen. Tipped and sailing out of bounds there off the hand of Frandrup.
Someone's going to have to run that down.
And I think that's definitely something that comes with more experience, is knowing when to let the ball go and when not to, which is obviously a very tough thing to know if it's going to land a few inches in or a few inches out, but that's definitely a veteran thing.
Like you said, having an experienced roster in a situation like that, I mean, those couple points can swing a match.
Well, oftentimes they do for Hastings this year. Back and forth. Gentle touch over the top. Here to the near side. Lobo slam and just past BB there is an early lead expanding here for Tartan.
So Tartan coming out here strong, getting out of the gates up 3-1 and trying to expand this lead early in this second match.
Another serve there from Sarian. Tipped over there on the near side. Bumped a little bit back and then sent over. Powerful shot there and out of bounds.
Playing it off the scores table. Interesting strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Well, I don't think it will, but It's dangerous to be down there. You and me know better than anybody. It's dangerous to be
man.
down there at the scorer's table. Might have a 240-pound Julian Jackson coming over the top.
I was going to say, going back to our days calling River Falls basketball, I mean, we had some players literally spill nearly into our laps.
From the Hornets' nest.
Calling college basketball. Yeah, well, that nest was dead beyond belief.
Yeah, somebody sprayed a raid on it.
Yeah, there was nothing left.
Serve here from Tartan. Out of bounds, and 6-1 lead here for the Titans. They're really responding nicely here in the second set.
Another chase down here on the volleyball, but yeah, Titans trying to boat race the Raiders here and trying to even things up back at 1-1. But you know, Hastings still early in this match. They've got a shot to fight back, but they got to respond soon.
Ball slapped over. Now up here for BB, and yet again
it's gonna be a timeout.
A long serve, and we'll get a timeout here for the Raiders.
I'm not gonna claim to be an expert on timeout use, but when it turns into a 7-1 ball game, usually you want to talk it over and try and slow down some of that momentum and try and draw something up. And we got some conversation with one of the line judges.
Well, hopefully they're not like the line judges at Wimbledon, where they'll just throw you out for anything.
Like accidentally hitting someone with a tennis ball.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, we know it's a major championship, but it's over for you.
Well, we'll see how the Raiders respond after this timeout. Like I've said, historically this year they've done pretty well off the timeout, and this game's flying by. I mean, I really hope we have a pickleball match or what's that a floor hockey match after this to call. I mean, I'm down.
Hey, I'll stick around till midnight and call some floor hockey.
Oh, you don't even know. I was so good at floor hockey. I love floor hockey.
Even if there was 0 people watching, I'd still call it. That'd be so much fun.
I might call it while playing it, like they do at the interviews for MLB when they're in the field.
The All-Star games, yeah.
We have a little bit of confusion here with one of the line judges. Might have been the same thing that Frandrip was talking about before.
And this would be nice if we had, like you were just saying, if we had headsets on the players or the officials and we could hear what they're talking about, but I don't see any signal happening.
People are clapping for something. You know, this is the time where it would pay off to have D3 rules expert Jim Sturm with us.
Well, he'd be down on the sideline if he was here.
He would.
We get him the remote headset.
And I heard Theo say, well, this is not D3, it's high school, but you hope some of the rule knowledge is transferable.
It absolutely is. If you're an expert in one area, I'd like to assume it transfers.
Boy, I love me some D3 rules expert Jim Sturm as we get a long volley here off the hands of Gronquist.
Somebody's going to have to chase that down as well. And here's the thing. The funny part about Jim Sturm is that he was actually like a grinder. Like, he would go out there and do the work and find people. He'd like to try and talk to players during the game. I'm like, I don't know if you should be doing that.
A player just blew out his ACL and Jim Sturm's over there. Just
they're carting him off, and he's got a headset in his face.
You got to respect the hustle from Jim Sturm.
He's our D3 insider.
Well, he knows a lot about offensive line play. I mean, I think he played offensive line at Eastview.
So I say he was probably a left tackle.
I'd love to see him play some basketball.
He's probably a guard.
He would beat you one-on-one in a pickup game.
That's so funny. That's so
Point
funny.
here for the Raiders. I think he might skunk you.
Yeah, well,
How are you going to get a rebound on Jim Sturm?
I hope we play full court. He'd be gassed in about 3 up and downs.
Hey, that's not fair. That man has great cardio.
I'm sure he does.
Lease with the serve, and that one takes an awkward bounce there off the hands there of Ariana Serene.
So the Raiders just trying to inch their way back into this game. I mean, it was 7-1 at one point. Now they've gotten it back to 8-3 and trying to swing some momentum together and get back in this.
And Lease's serve sails over just a little bit. It looks like we got the Hastings football team up there on the top of the track. Of course, we'll be covering them tomorrow.
You love to see it.
Oh, you love to see it. Nothing better than high school football. Certainly not from McNamara Stadium, where I'm sure it'll be nice and toasty warm for us.
I'm bringing a jacket. I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah, that was a bold move. Point going here to the Titans. Yeah, and
there's the shot of it. Our camera guys are on top of this. This is awesome.
Got some of the moving company over there. Some of those big. What does Dave Gettleman call them?
It's going to be the Metro. It's the Minnesota Moving Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not moving much of anything right now. I think at like what 1-6.
Oh man. Yeah, Drew Samia is on another level. As we get another point here for the Raiders.
Did you see the advanced analytics said Drew Samia is one of the worst right guards in history?
Yeah, I would. Wow.
He was so bad he was sacking his own quarterback.
That's saying a lot too, because we've had like T.J. Clemmings and guys like this.
And I mean, league wide, Green Bay's had some turnstiles as well. Play right guard, like, man.
Yeah, that Billy Turner signing's not looking good. And another point here for Hastings.
Hey, real talk. Billy Turner slotted in at left tackle against the Texans. PFF had him at like in the 80s or something like that, like near elite pass blocking.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, I don't know if you know this, but the gym
like a
there,
touchdown game.
the gym down there at River Falls, I've hit a game-winning basketball shot in an actual pickup game that meant something. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
My offensive ability is so bad, I was left unguarded, and I hit a game-winning 3. My shooting
so
percentage.
you were Rajon Rondo.
I was.
I'm here to play some maybe average defense, pass the ball around, and hit a shot when it's absolutely needed.
I'm an effort guy.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of skill.
Hey, you need effort, guys. That's facts.
But I digress here. Back to the game. We'll get the serve here from Hastings as they try to close the lead. A couple of awkward bounces there off the net. Dollar here to the front court. A great kill there from the Raiders.
Hastings climbing their way back into this game. I mean, at one point they were down 7-1. Now it's 10-7, and they're, within spitting distance here of tying this game up.
Well, that's a gross way to put it. We'll get the serve here from the Raiders. Tipped over. Great placement there from Hastings.
You must not be from rural Wisconsin.
No, I'm not familiar with Cletus. How is Cletus, by the way?
Oh, he's doing great.
That's good to hear. I would ask if he's out of work, but he's always been out of work.
Well, I don't know if he was ever in work.
Yeah, that's true. To be between jobs, you had to have had a job on both ends. And a timeout here. What a great response from Hastings. They were down by 6. Now they're only down by 1.
Big momentum swing, and they fought back to get it to only down 1 point, 9-10. And you got to think are the Titans going to be reeling here coming out of this timeout? You had a big lead. You're in danger of blowing it. You're already down 1-0 in the overall match, and you start to think about it, start to sweat a little bit and get scared.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go up 2-0, I mean, that's obviously major. And listen, what did I say? They were very good coming off of the timeout. To steal a quote here from the great Jesse Stanga, my volleyball IQ is approaching infinity.
I'm bringing a jacket tomorrow night.
I would hope so.
But dude, last time we went to do the football game, the first one we did, I was like just far enough away to not be able to go back and get it.
Well, I hope that the hand warmer dealer shows up.
He's also a glove dealer and a toe warmer dealer.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
I'm like, no, I'm good on the toe warmers. No, I'm all right.
See, I could wear a T-shirt and be fine, because if your torso is cold, you're dead. It's the hands and the toes that'll always get you.
Yeah.
Slam kept in play, and that one just a little out of bounds, but a good recovery there from Lease. However, the point going here to the Titans.
And I'm bringing those gloves as well. I've still got those gloves in my truck from when the guy gave them to me last time. A lot of good people here in Hastings.
Oh, it's an honest town, Reagan Hooverman.
Taking care of us.
Very honest town. Not like Cottage Grove. Of course, that's a joke. I don't want anybody to get mad. I am from Cottage Grove.
I see.
I mean, you don't want to leave your coat laying around in Cottage Grove, but, the nice people at Hastings,
Now a chance here to tie it up on this serve for the Raiders and have a sign of life in the second match.
Serve here from Radke. That one sailed up, bumped here to the middle, and out of bounds. We're tied here at 11 apiece. We'll get another serve here from Radke. Tipped over, almost into no man's land. Now kept alive here in the backcourt. Bumped over from Lily Newton. Once again to the backcourt for Radke. To Meyer, slammed, and just past Lease. Bang, bang play there. The point going to the Titans.
It's great defense right there from Faith Lobo. Knowing the big-time shots coming in, the spikes coming, an excellent block, send it back the other way, and putting a point on the board for the Titans.
Serve here for Tartan. A good save there from Dollar to the far side, and maybe a miscommunication there from Newton. So now a 2-point lead here for the road team. A high serve, Newton to Meyer, the slam. A couple of players running into each other, sent back. Bump forward from Dollar, back to Meyer to the near side. Newton, and the point going here to the Raiders.
And that could prove to be a pivotal play. If she doesn't tap that, that ball was going out of bounds. If she doesn't tap that, they expand the lead, and now it's been cut back to 1 by the Raiders. The chance to serve.
We'll have Frandrup on the serve. Couple of passes. That one bounces off into the basketball hoop all the way up there. Feels like Tropicana Field over here. Kept in play there on the far side. A short bump over. Meyer with the setup. And it's failed a little bit there from Autumn McClintock.
Feels like Tropicana Field. I don't know if we want to disgrace this high school gym like that. Tropicana Field is a dump.
It's really bad. It's really bad. It's never good when they're proposing that you have a team named for you, but you play in a different city half the time.
Yeah.
Another point here for the Titans.
You know it's bad when your team is good enough to be in the World Series, and you still can't. Pre-pandemic, you still couldn't get anybody in those stands.
Yeah, I don't know why pro sports are in California or Florida. A lot of literal fair weather fans. Quick little tip over there from Lobo. Slammed into the net there from Newton.
Hey, I'll have you know, LA ended their 16-day championship drought. Just, what was that, 40 hours ago or something?
And how many billions of dollars in payroll did they spend from '88 all the way to now?
I'm with you on that. I am. I'm just happy the Yankees didn't win.
I don't like when any big market team wins anything.
Go Lakers.
Yeah, absolutely not. As we'll get another point here for Tartan. I mean, thankfully this game's going kind of fast. I'm so hungry I actually could right now eat 9-topping pizza.
Oh, not the press box meal.
Oh, the press box meal.
Where's that old man?
I have an answer, but I don't think I should say it.
Yep. Well, he was on that championship team in '48 or whatever he said.
That is impressive, although we never fact-checked him to figure that out.
No, remember I went back and looked, and there was no championship in the year he cited. Like, they didn't play in a championship game.
Another point here for Hastings. I will say, shout out right now, because nobody will ever shout this guy out, but shout out to Don Page. What a legend. If they ever change the name of that arena.
All right, when I did a story on, nobody listening cares about this. We're gonna go with it. I wrote a story on the baseball team for River Falls, and I got quotes about Don Page from some of the guys who used to work with him.
Really? Wow. Because he spanned a long time.
Yeah.
Much respect. Couple of quick volleys. That one going to get sent over and just past the diving Titan there. That was Tegan Platzer.
Raiders going on a little bit of a run here. Game's still winnable. Only down 4 points. Obviously, first to 25.
Yeah, you know, you're in that weird spot where it certainly is mathematically possible that you win, but it's getting a little closer. Yep. Frandrup passing it over, sends it across the net. Lobo denied. Sent over on the second chance there. Tipped.
Good volley.
Dollar back over, sent up. It was Whalen sailing that one, and
it's a big point for the Raiders, staying in the ball game.
Okay, BB on the serve, and that one just a little too much mustard on it.
High and outside. Substitutions coming in here for Titans.
We'll get the serve here from the Titans. Slam, denied. Still pushed over there from Hastings. Tipped, and then tipped by Dollar, and another point here for the Titans, who have traveled really well, all things considered. Although it is tough to tell who's who, because, I mean, both teams have similar color schemes.
That's the one thing that's going to be missed about fans at high school volleyball. When it's match point, everybody's on their feet, jumping, getting loud.
Yeah, it doesn't normally sound like a golf tournament.
It sounds like we're in a library.
So still a very consistent 4-point lead here for the Titans. Propped up high there in the front court. A vicious slam kept in play here from the Raiders. Pushed over. And the point given there just barely to the Raiders. That one, I believe the rule is it has to touch the line, and that one was very close.
And that was Frandrup making the point-saving hit, getting it back to her teammates, setting it up, and scoring, and now within 3 in striking distance.
Dollar's serve probably would have gone out of bounds if it wasn't kept in play there by the Titans.
House money for the Raiders now.
Propped up and just a little push over and just a bit outside.
What do they say? Ball don't lie?
I believe that's saying.
Ball boy getting his exercise and working the track.
Well, I think boy might be generous.
All right. Ball man.
All right, I think we'll go.
Ball guy.
Yeah, I think we'll go back to ball boy. Radke with the hitter over. Lobo to a teammate, a slam, and that one going here in favor of the home team.
The Raiders can find a way to get back in this and even win this. They would have a chance to really get out to an advantage in this overall match.
I mean, to go up 2-0 is so important.
Don't want to say insurmountable, but it's critical. But for the Raiders, it feels like it's starting to slowly slip away. Now down 4 points. And the Titans only 3 away from winning the second match.
And I mean, the last time we were here, the Raiders were almost in the opposite position, where they lost the first 2 as that one sails over the scorer's table. And then they won, I believe, the 3rd set, and they almost won the 4th set, which would have sent it to that 15-point 5 set, which is interesting because, I mean, you're not playing the full 25, so it's almost like it benefits the team with a momentum, which would be the team coming from behind. Low serve, dive there from Lease. Dollar, short bump over. Up into the front court, denied, dive. And we're going to have the match point upcoming here for the Titans. Whalen on the serve. Frandrup, cross-court attack. Sailed up, another diving save. Now Dollar to Frandrup. And a very needed point there for Hastings.
Still a lot of energy for this Raiders team, although they trail by 5, and the Titans are on the verge of putting this game away and knotting it up. The Raiders keeping energy high and trying to keep this second match alive.
Well, I think winning the first set really energized them. They weren't really used to doing that here this year. Up front for Lobo, slammed. Dollar was not expecting that one, but a great recovery. Sent up forward for Lobo. Denied, and yet another point here for Hastings.
Team clearly is not going to give up. Now trailing only 4.
And this was a situation I was talking about a few points ago where you didn't want to find yourself in this situation where it's the match point and you have to win every set. Hastings keeping it alive. Radke sends it over. We'll get the assist. Propped up from Dollar. Gentle push over.
Good save.
Slam denied. And another point here for Hastings. I don't want to jinx it here, but they might really pull this off.
A good save, but a better block, and now it's going to be timeout Titans.
So, of course, it was match point, so the Titans still only need 1, but the Raiders need to go on a 4-0 run here.
All right, no volleyball expert here, but is it win by 2?
First to 25.
It's just first to 25 period, so if it's 24 all and they score, okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm such the volleyball expert, obviously.
An encyclopedia of volleyball knowledge.
Well, see, this is why I love it. You know, we did swimming, we did volleyball. I mean, you know, I don't know what other sports they have here.
I actually agree with that. Is doing as many sports as you can, expanding it, and it'll all translate in some way.
Hey, maybe we'll do wrestling at some point. We'll get the serve here from Hastings. Whalen up, denied, out of bounds, and the point here going to the Titans, and they'll win set number 2, 25-21.
Some good effort right there from the Raiders, but couldn't quite climb out of a 6-point hole, and they fall by 4 points, now knotted up at once.
So a great set number 2. With that, we'll wrap it up here and send it to a break. This is HCTV Sports. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports as we get set for set number 3 here. After 2, it's a 1-1 game here between the Raiders and the Titans. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, Reagan Hooverman. Reagan, what can we expect in this third set?
Man, this is essentially the pivotal set. You come out, you know, Raiders won the first one, Titans knotted up after the second match, and now the pivotal third match to really take a stronghold on this overall game. You know, it's whatever team comes out hot, and we saw that early in the first game. It was the Raiders that came out hot, got out to an early lead, and they finished the job and put that one away. And then in the second match, it was the same story, but for the other side, for the Titans, they came out, got up a 6-point lead, and although it got close at the end, they put it away as well. So now the story of the night has been whoever starts hot, and that's what I look for in this third match.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see which adjustments are made by both teams. Hastings trying to snap a 4-game losing streak as the first point here goes to the Titans. Serve here from the Titans, and maybe a little miscommunication there by the Raiders.
And this is something that we talked about in the pregame. This is a Raiders team that, although they've got talent and they've found ways to climb back in games, they've gotten off to traditionally slow starts. And already trailing 3-0 now in this third match tonight.
Yeah, that one sails off into the stands there off of Frandrup.
You got to wonder if you're coaching this Raiders team, at what point, obviously 3-0 is not that big of a deal, but if it gets to 4 or 5, at what point do you consider using a timeout?
I mean, it is an interesting discussion. I mean, the Raiders really are the comeback kids in each individual set. Tipped over, and another point here for the Titans.
And in a sport like this, where momentum is everything, timeouts become so valuable. It's not just stopping the game; it's stopping momentum in its tracks.
Lobo on the serve, propped up, denied off the dollar. Frandrup.
It's great defense.
Hard attack. Awkward bounce and a 5-0 lead here for the away team.
Now, if you're the Raiders, you got to relax here. It's 5-0. This third set is not started well for your team at all. You got to find a way to respond, get some points on the board, and stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you played at 25, and obviously a lot of points to go around here. It is interesting that they always seem to get down early and fight back. I wonder if that's, you know, something that could be adjusted mid-season, as we'll get another point here for Tartan.
Like I said, but just, you know, 30 seconds before this match started, I said it's traditionally tonight it's been whoever gets out to the hot start. And it was the Raiders in the first game, Titans in the second game, and each of those won respectively, and now 6-0 here for the Titans in the third game.
And the third set in the 2020 season, as we'll get the denial there at the net. Propped over into the back court. And tipped over, a good save, and that one sailing out of bounds, a 7-0 lead. But like I was about to say, I mean, the third set is statistically one of the best sets for Hastings. They only have a minus 19-point differential, so they really tend to turn it up in this set.
Look at you, going through the numbers. What a guy.
Yeah, wow. Let me say, it was painful research to try to do that.
That's hardcore analysis right there.
Well, that's what you can expect here at HCTV Sports.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about.
Some of the times. And that one into no man's land, and an 8-0 lead.
It's time for a timeout. Can't let the momentum run too wild, although it's 8-0, and it's going to take some pretty heroic efforts here for the Raiders if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, you know, you just hate to see a start like that, because, I mean, let me say it certainly is possible to come back and win this third set, but you're doing yourself no favors when you're down 8-0.
Yeah, it's, you know, like we said earlier, it's you play to 25, you don't play to 10, or you don't play to 8, and they've got a shot to get back in this, but at some point you got to knock the dust off here and start putting points on the board. And it's something we saw in the second match as well. The Raiders were down a couple points, and you know, at one point they were down 6, and they fought back into the game. I think they cut it to 1 at one point. So it's not over yet, but if you're a Raiders fan, they gotta get it going as soon as they come out of this timeout.
Well, it's weird too, because they seem to play so well under pressure. We saw that at the end of the second set, but when there's not the pressure, it just kind of seems like for whatever reason they get down.
I agree.
That one takes an awkward bounce there off the ceiling. Lobo setting it up for a teammate. And an absolute missile was fired in there, and a point off the timeout here for the Titans.
And that's the thing, you know, it's great that you can play really well when your back's against the wall, but it's always going to be unfortunate when your back's actually against the wall and you got to perform like that.
I mean, easier said than done, but if they always performed like that, they wouldn't find themselves in those positions. And the first point of the third set here coming off of a bad serve here from the Titans.
Couple Raiders substitutions here as they're set to serve.
Right-handed serve there from Dollar off into the netting. With Emma Munter checking out here for Tartan, tallest player on the court here tonight at 6'1". And great placement there.
Now a couple of points on the board for the Raiders, and just trying to string together anything they can to get back into this pivotal third match.
Lease with the serve. Lands there with the middle blocker. Across the net, propped up there by Beebe, a slam. Great save there from Sering. And another point here for Tartan. 11-2 game. And the serve goes out of bounds. 2 of the 3 points here in the third set coming via a bad serve from the road team.
If you're the Raiders at this point, you'll take anything you can get.
Serve and a diving save. Cross court there to Dollar. Propped up for Radke, denied. Sailed there from Dollar and just lands over, and the point here for the Raiders.
Like we said in the second set, I mean, this is a Raiders team they're going to fight, they're going to stay in games, and they're going to find a way to get back into it, and that's what we've seen here, in the last couple minutes.
Myers' serve, taking an awkward bounce there off of the top of the net, and lands in no man's land.
I think you're right, though. When we talked about it earlier, there might actually be more visiting fans here than there are home fans.
Yeah, you might not be wrong. Although a pretty good showing on both sides, all things considered.
It's still a good turnout considering what, having to check in when you get here. Obviously, it's health and safety stuff, but having some fans, I'm sure the players love that.
I mean, it would be really weird if we were just in an empty gym. Then I'd really be talking quiet if it was an empty gym. Might say the wrong thing and get a volleyball served at you. (12-6) game, and a very low serve there from Radke. A leaping serve, and that one sailed over the net and drops in right in front of Meyer.
I mean, that's a great save. She nearly dived into the scorer's table.
I mean, that is giving up your body in pursuit of the dub.
Body on the line. It's hardcore.
Missile of a serve, and that one nearly lands up on the track.
Nearly a second deck shot.
Miguelson, no home run.
Yeah, everywhere but Tropicana.
Anywhere but the 2020 season.
Especially the postseason.
Low serve there, off into the net. Seems like a lot of points coming for both sides off of bad serves from their opponents.
A couple errant serves here through this third match. And could be the tipping point if the Raiders find a way to get back into this, which they're slowly doing. Gonna have to put a run together right here, though.
Frandrup serve, and once again another errant serve here in this third set.
Now the Titans just 9 points away from putting this third set away.
Leaping serve, bump forward here into the front court, pushed over. Attempt at a save there from Alice Marston, but the point going here to the Raiders.
They play with a lot of heart. They never give up. I mean, Titans got out to a big lead, and the Raiders have done literally anything but fold, trying to stay in this game and inch their way back.
I like that on the Tartan roster, there's no rhyme or reason. It's not from height, it's not from year, it's not from number, and it's not alphabetically. It's just completely randomized.
Just threw it at the wall and said, you know what, figure it out.
Makes it a little hard to find numbers. BB's serve. Posted up, Lobo denied.
It's also not nice that there's no indicator at all on the backside of that program. It doesn't say what team this is. It doesn't say anything.
Might not even be the right rosters for all we know.
Names and numbers.
Well, we hope,
pretty bare bones roster.
We hope it's accurate. I believe it is. I have no reason to think it's not, but obviously that's always a concern at the high school level that you don't have accurate rosters, though I'm sure vocal fans will let us know if we get the rosters wrong, which we appreciate. We don't want to be crediting the wrong people, as we get a rebound point here for the Titans.
It feels like this third match has been all Titans, and for the most part it has, but it's only a 6-point lead. It's really not out of striking range for this Raiders team.
Yet another low serve.
Yeah, especially when stuff like that keeps happening. I mean, some of the serves, it's either they're going out of bounds or they're not quite clearing. And
Well, it's almost like 1/3 of the serves are going to be, you know, points for the other team. Will you win the other 2/3 to put a run together? Hard slam, that one over the edge, and that really riled up the Titans crowd.
They can feel it. They know they're getting close to that magic 25 number to take this third set. But still, the lead is only 6.
Yeah, I mean, slowly but surely. I mean, we're reaching the end of this set here, but just inching back are the Raiders.
They're running out of time, but it's still doable. It starts now.
And a pass heads off into the netting.
That was announcer's jinx. It has to start now. Point Titans.
That was painful.
Yeah, my apologies.
Get the serve there from the Titans. A save from Dollar. That one going back.
Save.
Kept in play. Slammed and takes a bounce there off of Gronquist. Lead has ballooned to 8 points here. Just 5 to go for Tartan. And a little bit of awkward placement there from Franger, results in another point here for the Titans.
And barring a big run here, feels like the rest of this match, at least the next 4 points, might just be a more formality. But maybe not. Maybe
another
not.
announcer's jinx there.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Just a little bit higher on the angle.
Yeah.
I feel like no matter which side wins this, the respective head coaches are going to have to go, listen, we gotta get some more clearance on some of these serves.
You got to tighten it up. And now it's a little too much clearance on that serve.
Maybe third time's the charm. I mean, there's the Goldilocks zone.
I mean, the wheels are off for us at this point. Everything we say the opposite is happening.
Well, it's almost like we're not experts on volleyball.
Some might say.
Get the serve here from the Titans. Awkward bounce there off Elise, but a great save still in play. Sent over, bounces off the top of the netting. Frandrip with the slam, and that one is out of bounds. What a great sequence there for Hastings.
It's good hustle by both squads. Diving everywhere, into chairs, onto the outside track.
And everything on that one was because of the save from Abby Axel.
It's a great effort.
You'll love to see it. Serve here from Meyer. Diving save. Almost was an ace there in the no man's land, and that one kind of rolled off the hand there of Macy Frandrup. So a 9-point lead here for the Titans as they look to go up 2-1. Lobo to the near side. Kept in play from Lease. Radke with a poke. Off into the netting, and a point here for the Raiders.
And although it's likely that the Titans are going to end up winning this third set, you got to see if maybe the Raiders can get some momentum going into this fourth set.
Pushed over and landing in front of a diving player there from the back court.
You know, a couple points in a row, you get something going and try to start hot in the next set.
And I mean, yeah, you know,
his back's going to be against the wall.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, it's true, like you said. I mean, you know, mathematically, you're probably not winning this one, but if you can play good, hopefully that's something that's transferable into the next set. Poked over, kept in play there from Meyer. To the far side, slammed in, and that one's going to sail.
It's 3 in a row for the Raiders.
Now it's kind of like an announcer's jinx in the good way. Radke's serve.
Burning the edge.
That was high and tight right there. And plopped down right in the middle of a few Raiders.
Now just 1 point away for this Titans team from going up 2-1. Big serve right here.
Match point here in the third set. That one sails over. And that's exactly what I was talking about in the first set, where that's a veteran move not to play that. But, I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, you really have to have a lot of spatial awareness to know where that's going to land. And look at an ace there for the Raiders.
Couple close plays in a row, and it's Raiders only down 5. But once again, it is match point for this Titans squad.
I mean, the ending of this set is you know, almost mirroring the ending of the second set. Out of bounds, and the Titans will win the third set here, 25-19.
Raiders trying to fight back into it. They end up dropping by 6, and you know, you start out down 8 points. It was 8-0. It's just hard to climb out of a hole like that. Gonna have to respond this next set. Backs will be against the wall, and you know, got to see if they carry any momentum going into this next set, because they did play well towards the end of this that third set.
Absolutely. So with that, we'll send this to a break. It's a 2-1 lead here for the Titans over the Raiders here on HCTV Sports. Hello everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports as we get set for the start of the fourth set. After 3, it's a 2-1 lead for the Titans over the Raiders. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, Reagan Hooverman. Reagan, I mean, it literally is do or die here in set number 4 for the Raiders.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of the gates here. You know, like we've said in the previous sets, when their backs are against the wall, that's when this Raiders team is best. Well, you know, it's a best-of-5 series. You're down 2-1, first of 3 wins, and your back is literally against the wall. So the Raiders got to come out hot here, and that's been the story of the night. Every team that started well in their respective match has won that match. So watch, you know, for the first 5-10 points here.
I think that's very accurate here. We'll get the first point of the fourth set here from the Titans. And I mean, again, obviously, if the Titans win set number 4, they win the game.
Yeah.
But you know, the good thing for Hastings is if they can win set number 4, we go to the 15-point set 5, and then it's really about momentum there.
Well, and that's the thing. It's, you know, it's kind of like other sports. In any series, you know, playoff series, whatever. If you go to a game 5 or if you go to a game 7, weird things can happen. I mean, it's one thing to win it all. And, you know, just a few plays can swing things like that. So if you're the Titans, you don't even want it to get there.
Yeah, and if you're a team, you want consistency, kind of like the Minnesota Twins and consistently losing playoff games. You know, that's, you know.
18 straight. At least we're holding some records.
Doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 4. They will lose that game.
Pretty heartbreaking.
Nah, not really.
For me, it is. I'm wearing a Twins hat right now.
It's pretty funny. And another point here for the Titans. I mean, this is what we were kind of fearing here in set number 4, a fast start here for the road team.
Yeah, and if you're a Raiders fan, this is not what you wanted to see, starting down 4-0, and they got to get going quickly here.
That one bounces through the fingertips of a couple of Titan players and sails out of bounds. First point here in set number 4 for the Raiders. And they're so good at closing out sets that it's kind of like a mathematic equation. If you just increased X, I mean, imagine if they kept that pace, but you know they were up 5-3 after 8 points.
Absolutely.
Hard slam there.
And like you were saying, that's the thing. It's just they've been down so many points that you don't, unless you're really paying attention, you almost don't realize the rally that the Raiders have gone on in these last 2 sets. But they've played pretty well in the last 10 points or so, the last 2 sets. The problem is they've been down, you know, 8-10 points, and it hasn't mattered.
Another point here for the Titans. And again, this is what I was talking about with them being 1-4. I mean, they easily could be 3-2. There is a lot to like about this Raiders volleyball team. It's just they get down early, and man, when you dig yourself a hole, it's you know, uphills both ways trying to get out of it. Cross court attack, and that one sails over. A 7-1 lead here for the Titans.
Now you got to think you're down 6 points at 7-1, and you know, do you use a timeout here in the next point or two? You can't let it get too far out of control for the Raiders.
I would say, based off of history, if this point here is for the Titans, we're getting a timeout here for the Raiders. Great save, denied. Lands there on the Raiders' side of the net. Lobo to her teammate, sails out of bounds, and bleeding stopped here momentarily for Hastings. Chantel Lease with the serve. That one bouncing sky high and out of bounds. Great play there from Dollar.
Couple points here in a row for the Raiders, now 7-3, and trying to get back into this game and keep it close.
Or should I say great lack of a play from Dollar, because she didn't do anything, just had the mental fortitude not to play the ball. And another point here for the Raiders as they are closing the gap here.
Starting to build some momentum here in this fourth set. Trying to force a set 5, but currently trailing by 3.
Another serve here from Lease, and that one sails.
They've rolled off 4 in a row here to cut it to 2.
Lease on the serve. Great save there from Whalen. Bump forward here from Dollar, and just kind of an awkward spot there to hit the ball from Frandrup. Low serve, diving save, out of bounds. So now the momentum slowly going the other way here. And a serve sailing out of bounds.
Couple substitutions for this Raiders team.
The junior Meyer on the serve. Sent forward, Lobo props it up, slammed down across the court, and another point here for the Titans.
Lead back up to 4 for this Titans squad. Now a chance to serve.
Seidenberg checks out for Tartan. And that one sails over the head of Dollar. Radke's serve, fielded awkwardly. And that one almost going a couple of courts over. So now the lead only 2 here for the Titans, and we'll get another low serve there. A little bit of frustration from Frandrup. And I don't know if there's penalties, but I know in the second set, I think she slammed the ball to the other side of the court after play had ended. Might want to be careful about something like that, as we'll get a great response here from Hastings.
And I wonder how that works, because you know, it's not like there's free throws, or like, do they just, you know, I don't know, do they add points? Do they take timeouts away? Like, I'm not sure. Certainly no flags.
Yeah. Well, I hope we won't see any tomorrow. Obviously, you and me will be getting frostbite outside as we'll cover the Raiders football game.
I'm sure with our luck, there's snow in the forecast.
Yeah, yeah. Boy, wouldn't that be awesome. I'm just hoping there's no snow tonight. I don't have any windshield wipers on my car right now.
What? That's a clip.
That one sails out of bounds.
He's got 2 metal blades or something. Just like what?
I can't touch it. I don't want to scratch my glass.
A couple years ago, I was driving home from River Falls about an hour, and my the plastic things on the windshield wipers were just like froze and broke off. So I had 2 metal beams, and it was a snowstorm. I was trying to drive home.
You're gonna cut a hole in your glass there.
That's gonna fly off and pop a tire or something. I don't know. Michael, this is the worst case scenario. That sounds right. That sounds about right for me.
Oh no! Worst case scenario is Platteville, or not Platteville, La Crosse. Well, Platteville as well. Tipped over, kept in play. Dollar sends it back. Now on the right side of the court here, and that one slammed off into the netting. Emma Munter.
La Crosse really is worst case. That was the worst case scenario. Well, if you remember, we rolled into town. Your car stalled at a stoplight, and we had to roll into a parking garage.
The goal was to never stop, even if I had to slow the car down.
I remember.
500 yards before the red light, and you just have to hope that the red light turns green before the car gets to a stop.
You're treating your car like a locomotive. You're hitting the brakes 30 miles early.
We would have had to have Flintstoned the car into the parking lot.
What a nightmare.
13-12 game here for the Titans. And a point there from the Raiders, tying it up here at 13 apiece.
And this is what we said in the pregame. I mean, I should say pre-match. This is a Raiders team that plays best when their back's against the wall and they get down early in a must-win set, and suddenly they fight their way back and it's knotted up at 13s.
Sent forward, slammed, awkward bounce. Fielded there in the Hastings backcourt. Bump from Dollar, and that one denied at the net.
Trying to force that pivotal 5th set.
And I like that move there from Munter. That was the socially distanced high five. High-fiving your teammate from 10 feet away. I mean, you got to be health conscious.
I was going to say, adding the extra 4 feet just for precaution.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't even have to do it that far.
Yeah.
And I will say, I appreciate Hastings High School having those little hand sanitizer stations.
That is nice.
Raiders left to send this one over, slammed, and too much power there for Macy Franger for the Titans to handle.
Now the Raiders, once trailing early in the set by 5-6 points, now they find themselves up 1.
I mean, are we headed for the infamous 5th set?
I'll try not to announce this, jinx it, but I'm going to say yes. I'm saying we're going the distance tonight.
That is a bold statement. I don't think. Oh no, we had one game this year for Hastings that went to the 5th set. That was the first game of the year.
I'm telling you, man, some weird stuff can happen in all or nothing games.
That one off into the netting.
Especially when it's going to 15 instead of 25. All it takes is a 3-4 point run and a match can be over.
I mean, are you going to predict a 14-1, 15-1 victory for the Raiders in set number 5?
It's gutsy. It's gutsy. First we got to get there.
Ah, fair point, but another point here for Hastings.
I'll give it to you in this style. If the Raiders win this set, write it down. They win 15-13.
I don't have a pen and paper.
They win. Well, you can remember things, so write this down. They win the 5th set, 15-13.
Wow, that is bold.
Write it down.
Some might call that a home run.
It's a home run.
That one, great placement there in the cross-court attack. Write this down. If the Raiders win set number 5, they'll win this game. I guarantee it.
You're going out on a limb with that one. After all, that is where the fruit is.
I'm going for a DG bunt single. That one sent sky high.
More of a Skywalker, not a solo.
Accurate. Dollar sends it forward. Tipped over from Lobo, and a dive there from Dollar, and just like that, we're tied up here at 17 apiece.
We're going to have a photo finish here. 7 points left. Raiders trying to force a 5th set. Titans trying to put it away.
We'll get the serve here from the Titans, and that one too much power, out of bounds. The lead regained here from Hastings.
And serving has really been the story of these first 3, well, and now into the 4th set tonight. I mean, it's swung every single set so far.
And that one bounces off of the back of Autumn McClintock's head. I mean, like you said, serving. I mean, it's really been the name of the game.
Yeah, it's been everything tonight. And now that's 3 serves in a row that have scored for the opposing team.
So I'll share a quick little story here. I've called a game before. I think it was this year for soccer, and it was towards the end of the game, and it was between, I want to say, South St. Paul and Henry Sibley. The goalkeeper absolutely booted this kick right into the back of this kid's head. I mean, just it looked so bad with like whiplash.
Yeah. Like
2 minutes later, he did exactly the same thing. And I was like, that must be so awkward in the locker room. Just like, hey, dude, could you not drill me in the back of the head when I'm not looking? I could not believe it happened twice.
You never want to have to approach your goalie and say, I'd prefer not to go into concussion protocol.
And it's always the hits you never see.
Yeah.
That,
well, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean,
well, you're just like, la-di-da, I'm just, strolling down the field, and, then you get a...
Next thing you know, there's stars above your head.
Yeah, I mean, you get a 70-mile-an-hour missile to the back of your cranium.
70 miles an hour?
Well, I don't know how hard people kick.
There's flames coming off the back of that ball.
It's a minivan of a soccer ball.
My goodness, 70.
I don't know, 20? I don't know how fast people kick. I'm not a scientist. I'm barely an announcer.
Yeah, I don't know if we even qualify as that.
We're more of Skywalkers, not solos, like you said.
That's right.
And another serve off into the net. What is that, 4 in a row now?
I think so. And more substitutions here for the Titans.
I mean, I will say you hate to see that, and that's obviously a core fundamental of the game, getting the ball over the net. But at least for both of these teams' sake, it's been 50-50. I mean, it's not like one team has won the set because of that. Both teams have committed that error here tonight.
Yep, I agree.
McClintock sends it over, pushed back.
And that's excellent. I mean, that's absolutely excellent right there by that Raiders team.
It was solid effort there from the Titans. They tried their hardest, but good closeout there from the Raiders. Now leading 21-19.
Mark Jackson would say that's good defense, but better offense.
Yeah. Well, he also would coach a team up until the point they were ready to win championships and then get poached by TV personality. A slam there and a great response from the Titans.
I feel bad for him.
I know, because that was his team.
Yeah, it was his team. He built that.
Every single player that came in and did something was acquired under Mark Jackson. Iguodala, obviously, the Splash Brothers.
Yep.
Draymond. And Luke Walton came in and went 28-0, so I think that should tell you all you need to know about coaching.
Yeah, we could have coached that team to 28-0. I mean, it's probably the best team ever. Best regular season team ever, factually. 73 wins.
Yeah, that death lineup was ridiculous. You couldn't even do that in 2K.
No, yeah. I mean, it's true.
Dollar with the serve. Propped up here by Lobo, slammed and tipped off of the fingertips there of Axel and Radke. Dollar's serve immediately volleyed back, and the point going here to the Raiders. Match point upcoming, 24-20.
Raiders on the verge of forcing a 5th set.
Sent up for Lobo. Slammed. Good low save. And right into no man's land. And just like that, the Raiders are going to win set number 4, excuse me, 25-20.
The prediction is set up. The prediction is set up. And what a response right there from the Raiders. They start down early in that 4th set, literally back against the wall, must win, and they rally back and get a clutch win in the 4th set to force a winner take all.
Absolutely. That was just what the doctor ordered. So with that, we'll take a short break. We're tied here at 2 sets apiece. This is HCTV Sports. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports as we get set for the 5th and final set here. We're tied up at 2 sets apiece here between the Tartan Titans and the Hastings Raiders. Reagan Hooverman, what can we expect here in set number 5?
Man, it's been back and forth this whole night. I mean, we're in set 5. It's essentially sudden death. It's winner take all, and once again, I'm gonna stick to the point that's been held true pretty much the entire night: is look for a team that starts hot, and whichever team does that, especially in this set 5 where it's going to be less points.
I mean, yeah, you can't afford to get down 6 points to nothing for either side.
They're going to come at a premium tonight, and that's, if you're a Raiders fan, that's a sight for sore eyes right there. They haven't started well in these last few sets, but they've finished extremely strong, and to see them get off to a good start, even scoring the first point, it's a good sign for Hastings.
And I'm no statistician, but I think whoever scored the first point in each set has won.
Whoa.
I mean, that feels right. I have no way of verifying.
Pulling it out of the hat.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually true, but it feels like that. I mean, certainly whatever team gets off to an early run.
That is pretty much held true, yeah.
Point going here to the Titans.
I'm no rule expert, so I can't quite decipher, but
I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for a new character to be born, the MSHSL rules guy.
Something like that, yeah.
Double hit there from Radke.
It's going to be another chase.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't put anything to stop that. It's always.
Now, am I just going crazy here, or were there no timeouts in the fourth set? I don't think so. I don't remember a run being stopped. I think they just like traded.
Yeah, that was a real heavyweight fight there. Another point here for the Titans, up 3-1.
All right, question for you: which team do you think has more pressure? Titans because they were up in the series, or?
Well, I think it's definitely Hastings with the most amount of pressure, just because they're down in the final set. I think everything else is irrelevant at this point. 4-1 lead here for the Titans.
If you're the Raiders, I mean, it's a match to 15. You got to get going here. Already down 3 points early.
If this is another point here for the Titans, I'd consider taking a timeout here, even though it's 5-1, as we don't have to worry about that because that one sails off into the net.
And like we've been saying all night, I mean, serving has been story of the night for both teams. It hasn't been lopsided either way, but there's been some errant serves, and it's led to points for each team.
Hastings trailing by 2. Lease with the serve. Up here on the far side, tipped out of bounds. A dive from Dollar, and another point here for the road team.
It's a big shot right there.
A serve and an ace there for the Titans. Cambria Whalen, the senior, on the serve.
Momentum going in the way of the Titans, now with a 4-point advantage.
Whalen with another serve. Posted up there from Lease. Crashing in was a Raider, and that one off the fingertips.
It's a good response. And you know, you play a match to 15. There's almost not enough time to go on a big run. it's just going to be a series of short bursts for both of these squads.
Yeah, it's almost not even a run. It's just a win.
Yeah.
Another response there from the Raiders, 6-4 game.
And although it's a 2-point advantage for the Titans, it's likely going to come down to serving here in this final set.
Well, you can nary afford to serve the ball into the net here when it's to 15. You know, and on some of the longer volleys that we've covered here, you know, since the season started, they typically haven't gone the way of the Raiders, even though they played really well. And that's kind of where you go as we'll get a serve out of bounds here. That's kind of where you go, well, listen, we tried our best. Like, they just were better on the volley, but it's the mistakes you can control, like serving into the net, that you can't afford to do.
Yep.
Because even if it's a high arcing serve, if it's still in play, there's still a point to be won. That one out of bounds, just barely a point here for the Raiders.
Now getting it back to 1 with a chance to serve for the Raiders.
Radke with the serve. Fielded forward here in the front court, denied. Sent back. Propped up by Meyer. Lease slams it over. Backhanded into the back court. And a gentle push there from McClintock.
Knotted back up at 7s. 15-13 is not looking too bad.
No, that's looking pretty accurate at this point. Radke with the serve. Fielded there from the middle blocker. Tipped out of bounds and off of the hand there of Lease. Slim 8-7 lead here for the Titans. Looking to advance to 3-2 on the season. The Raiders looking to snap a 4-game losing streak as another point here goes to the Titans. Low serve, just barely bouncing off of the net, but it's good enough for another Titans point.
That's as close as it gets. This is going to be a timeout for this Raiders squad. Now down 3 points here in this final set. And like we were talking about, you know, the first couple sets and even into the later portions of the fourth set is how do teams respond coming out of the timeouts? And historically, the Raiders have been a good team after the timeout, and there's not a more important time than right now. A 5th set, winner take all, trailing by 3. You got to come out of this timeout and get something going.
Well, it all comes down to this. The point differential in the favor of Hastings, +4, albeit they've only ever been to the 5th set once this year. That was their 3-2 win over South St. Paul for the season opener. See if the Raiders can pull off the upset here. That one sailed out of bounds.
Big serve right here.
It'll be Macy Frandrip on the serve. They'll have to send it over there. Diving in, Frandrip pushes it back. Kept in play from Dollar. Cross court attack and nearly dimed it in there, but just a little too far on that outside corner.
Now just 4 points away for this Titans squad from winning the 5th set and the match as well.
Tartan serve. Bouncing backwards, kept in play from Frandrup, but a little too much there for the backcourt. Tartan serve, propped up from Dollar, back to Dollar. Whalen to Dollar. Meyer to the far side. Right-handed push there. And that one tipped out of play there. Momentum really going in favor here of the Titans.
Stringing a couple points together. Now a 5-point advantage, just 2 points away from taking it all home tonight.
And that one out of bounds off of Frandrup. Match point upcoming here in the 5th and final round here for the Titans.
Raiders potentially down to their last shot. Trailing by 6.
We'll get the serve. Frandrup over to the near side, not fielded, and we'll have a win here for the Titans, 3-2 on the road.
What a match. Fun match. Good battle back and forth, both teams. Honestly, that's one thing that impressed me tonight was the effort level. Both teams fought hard through every set. I mean, they whether they were down, 8 or up 4 or whatever it was in a tie game, the effort was there 100% through all 5 sets.
Yeah, and again, I think I've been here for 4 of these games this season, and albeit there's been some losses for Hastings, it's always been an exciting game. It's always been close. They've never gotten blown out, and the effort has never not been there, like you said.
Good shot right there, the Hastings logo.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful court here. So the Titans will move on to 3-2. Hastings will drop to 1-5. With that, we'll look to wrap it up here from Hastings High School. Special thanks to Hunter Pinkey, Owen Ely, Reagan Hooverman, Chip Elmquist, Max Slocum. This is HCTV Sports.